okay, neurons. Please do not forget this. It is called CAN. It is called CAN. Concept and academic neurons. There was a time like that. My second daughter, Fadike, extremely intelligent. So she did something, and I called her. I said, Fadike, what is a noun? And my daughter was speaking in tongues. Her mouth was just doing, she became consumed with fear. And she was just saying, Balgadash, gibberish words. Immediately, I said, Fadike, stop. Daddy will not beat you. Because they know that my life is about education. I think maybe she was doing her homework, maybe she was doing, and she was watching cartoon. And I know that, look, there's no way that she'll be able to do that homework well. So I go, hey, come here, you're watching cartoon. No, okay, now tell me, what is it now? And that was what she said, she spoke rubbish. I have to calm her down. But Daddy will not beat you. I know you're scared. Thinking that I'm going to beat you, that is what? Stress. She was so there's a connection between fear, okay, fear too also can lead to this, and stress too. But the point I'm trying to make is this. The reason why she could not define a noun correctly was fear consumed her. And fear switched off what? Not only the hippocampus. No, not only the hippocampus. Yes, it affected the hippocampus. Because the hippocampus also plays a role in memory retrieval. We'll come to that, don't worry. But let us focus on this. The concept and academic neurons, that moment, they were switched off. That was why our prefrontal cortex could not retrieve the definition of a noun and started speaking of rubbish. Now, how does stress affect our teaching? Do you know that? Asking a child, probably I wanted to introduce them to this early morning reading. Since I wake up 4, I was thinking that let me read them around 5 so that they can read. Now, as I think that these children will wake up by 5:30, do everything, and they come home around 5, and they will need to do this house chores, do homework and others. Then let's say by 7 they are done, okay, for that day's activity. Now asking them, giving them additional responsibility could lead to stress just because of what they've gone through throughout the day. So that moment, whatever you teach that child, it's going to do what? That child has been stressed already. Let us call it scholastic or scholarly stress throughout the day. Now, do not forget, this stress releases cortisol. And cortisol is what? It's a stress hormone. And cortisol destroys neurons. So cortisol, especially excessive, not stress, cortisol, not that it is bad, but excessive release of cortisol into our nervous system, okay, not only destroy neurons, it affects our immune system. That's why you see, if you go through long time of stress, okay, the probability becomes higher that you might end up having or maybe falling ill is because of excessive cortisol. So stress is good, but it must be moderate. But that is one point. And secondly, we must make sure that we don't create that atmosphere for excessive release of what? Of cortisol. Because cortisol, despite the fact that it is good, whenever you wake up in the morning, your amount of cortisol in your system is extremely high. It is cortisol that makes you want to take a bath, do everything. But imagine that if that cortisol is too much of cortisol in the system, not only affects neurons, it leads to depression and diseases and deaths in the brain. That is why you see, that time the stress is too much. Look at women whenever they are in labor. Look at the stress that women, and that's why there is a disease called postpartum disease. There's one pain. Okay, before the mother gives birth, the stress of that 9 months. That is why you see some women, as soon as they give birth, it affects their psyche. It is because the woman has been going through too much of stress, too much of cortisol has been released, and it has destroyed with some neurons. And don't forget there's a connection between the death of neurons and neuropathology. Neuropathology has to do with the death of neurons that later leads to what? Psychological problem. So stress is good, but too much of stress is bad because it releases cortisol, and cortisol destroys not only neurons, it affects our immune system.
Stress.
Yeah, because you were not paying attention. Yes, very good. Yes, I said there are two types of stress. You have the positive and the negative of the stress. The positive stress is known as eustress. Okay, for example, maybe for a math teacher, for example, if the master says today, or let me add this additional analysis.
Let's use that before birth of that woman.
Okay. Yes.
I want to cite something. In those days, when it's almost a delivery period, our forefathers usually ask the pregnant woman to be climbing staircase and be coming down.
Yeah.
Or give them mortar or pestle to pound yam.
Yeah.
Then that is in the olden days.
Yeah.
Then in these days we have some pregnant women that just need to be sitting down, relaxing, doing nothing, but suffering of mental issues from their husband, their in-law, their environmental or their friends or colleagues.
Yes.
Maybe their expectation is not met up, their demand is not met up. That is why they're having this kind of brain trauma, inner issues, and which also bring out this kind of cortisol that you talked about. How does it going to compare to the ones that is eating the bush meat, nice fruits, vegetables, and anytime he sees his husband coming from farm, he will always go and hug. But when he is about to deliver, they ask him to pound the jam, maybe going up and down. Is that positive stress?
It is. It is a good example of positive stress. In addition to what you said, it is by doing all those things, it is doing what? It is relaxing the muscles. You don't forget that the ability for that woman to push the type out of her body, needs the neuron. We have muscular neurons too. There are those neurons that are responsible for the operations of all the muscles in our body. It's located in the motor cortex. So doing those exercises is just to prepare that woman so that those muscles can be ready for action that the woman is about to take. And honestly, I guess it is right. But do you know that those Western-oriented doctors might say, no, there's nothing for you to do. You just come, we are going to do CS and others.
Don't carry heavy objects, don't engage in any stress.
And then, sorry, let me go with it. One of the challenges is that we Africans, this example is extremely important. We don't have ways of measuring the efficacy of some of our things that are so effective. But the Western world will tell us that these things are not, that they're too antiquated, too barbaric, and you understand? Honestly,
and they are not coming back to adopt those things.
Now. Thank you. And that is why you see the Western world, they are doing what? China, this Asian, there's this integration between the Eastern. They don't believe in blacks. They don't believe in blacks. That's why they call that China and the Chinese people and Africans, there are some similarities in our culture. The respect for parents, that taking care of your parents whenever they are old. It is both Eastern and it is part of African culture. So, but just because of this, people don't want to really respect anything that is black, they prefer to adopt the Asian medical and the health kind of practices than to adopt or integrate those of blacks. The problem is not this. One of the problems is because of those African Americans. They are a great disappointment to the black race. You will not believe it, that the black Americans, the African Americans in America and in other European countries, they are not representing Africa well. And let me share this story. There was a time that my younger brother is a lawyer and he did his master's. And he was sharing a story with me. He said, Brother, I don't know why blacks hate education. They look at how that America has the best educational system. And that if you want to school in America, okay, you have access to scholarship, okay, and others. Obama went through scholarship. It was when he became president that he was able to pay his bills, his school, his tuition fees. Do you understand? That despite the fact that these blacks, well, we understand the dangers and the demerits and the destruction of slave trade. But what about those Africans who are no longer, who are not longer slaves? How come that they've not been able to prove to those whites that we too have something upstairs? These guys are not representing us well. And you know that they hate other Africans who come to America, okay, to struggle. Because there was a study that Nigerians are the most educated citizens or immigrants in America.
Yes.
Not those blacks there, but those Nigerians, those Kenyans and others. So those free slaves, they are not representing Africa well. My brother said, do you know that he went for his master's at this Texas State University, one of the leading universities when it comes to law. He said, before I got to campus, that comes looking at a black guy, he was trying to look for other blacks who could associate with. So I could not see any black. Then I think then he was trying to get somebody who would help him to accommodate him before he would get his own accommodation. There was no black. So Brother, can I shock you? When I saw one black. Oh, wow, fantastic. Then she was, she's a lady. I didn't know where I met her. When I went to the toilets, I went to go and poo-poo. I saw the only black I saw on campus was just an ordinary toilet cleaner. Where are all the black, despite the advantages of the American system? And that is just a story, okay, out of other stories. So, the point I'm trying to make is this. Yes, slavery did evil, okay, to the black race. But now, after slavery, what do the Africans, those free Africans, what they have to really show that if not for slavery, that Africa would have also developed? Those guys are not representing us well.
Yeah, I did for it.
Yes?
The issue of this, some women that used to have brain disorder.
Yes,
I heard that some usually inherit it. Is that the
okay, genetic kind of disease. Okay. But what I'm talking, yes, it could be, everything has to do with genetics. Everything has to do with genetics. I've told you that my maternal grandmother was a Fulani, Hawaii. So, but this is it. Do you know that the stress of pushing that child out, then what about the stress preceding the prenatal stress? And do you know that as far as a woman takes in, it is stress also. And there are some children that when it is time to give birth to them, they will give you double stress. And that could be, and because of that double stress, it will have released too much of cortisol in the system, and that later maybe gravitated into or degenerated into, okay, after killing some neurons, okay, that later result in any neuropsychological disorder or challenge or impairment. It's about stress. Too much of stress is bad. And that is why in countries like, there was a time like that in South Korea, because their children were reading. They were reading, in fact, after school hours. Okay, there are so many special centers. The government had to say, from today in South Korea, no child should read from 10 p.m. because they discovered that the cases, okay, of depression, okay, of anxiety disorder, okay, and other neurological disease was growing in South Korea. So they linked it to what? To excessive reading, excessive learning. So the government said no lesson center should be at. They go to night schools. Can you imagine? After the normal days, they go to night schools again. Some of them will be there till around 12, and they wake up with around 5 again. So the government had to step in. They came up with a kind of legislation that no child, no centers should open up for any student after 10 p.m. So too much of academic stress can result into one or two psychological impairments. Stress, too much of stress is bad. But we have the good stress. The good stress has to do with the fact that during bedtime, you're not going anywhere. I want you to sit down in the class and you do not do well in these calculations. Okay, these are your errors. Stay back and do it. But after quizzing, you're not going home today. I'm going to already take 1 hour out of your time for you to complete this assignment or you to complete your notes. These are positive stress. Which that we can. There's another question before we go straight into the neuro. My friend, my assistant neuro lecturer. Neuro now. Everything that is not neuro. Obviously. We have neurointelligence, neuro marketing, neuro law. Please start for this talk.
Neuro misogunleye.
Yes. This is extremely important. This is extremely important. I call it the anatomy. Yes, let's talk about the neuroanatomy of activity. What are those organs? So that whatever, what are those organs that you need to know? And what roles do these organs play in education, in pedagogy, in teaching, in everything? This is extremely important. Let's start from the beginning. What are those organs? Let's talk about those organs that support teaching. What are those organs that support whatever you're doing in the class? So I want us to look up everybody. We have 4 lobes plus 1, which is 5. There are 4 lobes that we need to know about. This part of the brain, I want everybody to put this part of your brain. It's like, it is called the frontal, I don't want to say frontal, the frontal cortex. This is the frontal cortex. And the Yorubas will be saying, Ori, Ori no Bolola, Ori, something like that. Where am I? Ori no more. It's not the Ori, it's not the entire Ori. It is this part. And we are going to read into that. So by God's grace, this your part will also make you succeed. It will make you become great.
Amen.
That is the frontal cortex. Then the second one here, try this part. This is the parietal cortex. One is the frontal cortex, or it's also called lobe cortex, or lobe. So 2 is what? The parietal. Math teachers, this one is everything in mathematics. We'll come to that. Parietal, cortex. Then, this is what, this part is the back of your brain. That is where we see. It's used for seeing, for visual information. it is called the occipital.
Occipital.
Occipital. While the last one is the temporal. Temporal cortex.
Science.
That is where the hippocampus is. It's just like the middle part of your brain. So class, I want us to do like this. It is important. This is what our temporal cortex. It is that place where the hippocampus, the amygdala, it is that I've told us about. Now, out of this, there is another part called the insula. The insula. This one, the insula is not, you cannot see it physically because it's deep inside the brain. But it is important for us to know it because it plays key role in emotional intelligence. How not to allow anger, okay, to take control of your decision in the class. If a child offends you, do not transfer maybe the domestic anger, okay, on that child. So we will look at the insula. If he decides to teach me an example, it is what made it, the amygdala made him to hit me. That is amygdala, apart from the fact that both positive and negative. Whenever you are angry, it is what? The amygdala that is active at that moment. And whenever you feel happy, it is also the amygdala. The amygdala, it is responsible for fear and for also for joy. But this is it. If he decides to pick up a knife, maybe after hitting me, then I decide to insult him, and he just puts his hand in his pocket and brings out a knife and stabs me. It is no longer the amygdala, it is what? The insula. And it's the insula. Why do husbands kill wives? And why do wives kill their husbands? We are going to talk about that in neuroparenting. Okay, how to make sure that whenever, let me tell you a story. Formerly, my wife, but you know, there's something that she normally calls me. Whenever she wants to, women are very smart. She knows that there's a word that she will say that will make me angry, and she wants me to be sad. Whenever she says it, I'm going to be angry. That is, she knows that is my point. And what is the word? Very simple. I'll tell you the word. Women. What is happening? Because how can you call who you are an idiot? So it is so crazy. Even in my dreams, you call me an idiot, I will fight you. But one idiot means that, I'm an idiot. No. That is it. But do you know that? Now, there was a time like that. She just observed that she wanted to make me angry. Idiot legally, I said, hey, idiot, provide now. She was looking at that. What idiot me? Monica, could you be more? What idiot me? Go on in your mind, you know I'm not an idiot. And that was how I won that battle of responding negatively to that word, an idiot. And since then, there's a way that if you understand this in your marriages, and for those of you who are about to get married, you can apply it. Honestly, the brain controls not only education, it controls your relationship with friends, your relationship with your wife, with your husband, with everything. Because you know that, look, I must not do this. So whenever I am angry, this is what I do. Instead of me allowing my insula and my amygdala to decide my decision, there is that part that I told you about. Who can remember that part that I said it is the seat of intelligence, it is the seat of good decision making, it is the seat of wisdom. Who? It's not occipital, that is for saying. It is what the I want to look, please clap for everybody. That is the key. It is called the prefrontal cortex. So this is it here quickly. And do not forget, that was why I said your frontal cortex is the most important. The prefrontal cortex is part of the frontal cortex. This is it here. Look at this. This is the yes, now no. This is just used to show you that that part is the prefrontal cortex. This part of the brain, the entire here, they're all frontal cortex. But this here, this small part that is covered is known as the prefrontal cortex. Your intelligence, your ability to think critically, okay, your sense of imagination, all those positive higher cognitive abilities, your ability to reason, etc. Your ability to control magic quality, so it is just about the prefrontal cortex. And it is part of the frontal cortex. Yes. I said that please. The other part. Now let's go to
Mr. Nota.
and this is again. This is the prefrontal cortex. Why this is the hippocampus. Look at it again. This is what the amygdala and the hippocampus. Amygdala, hippocampus. Here is the hippocampus. Here, this part of the brain. The smallest part is known as the prefrontal cortex. There are so many pictures that you have access to. We call it photo learning. Okay, photo learning is the use of images, pictures, okay, for learning. It's part of our training. Yes. And look up everybody. This is called the broadcast area. Or the ability to speak. It is the broadcast area. Whenever you are teaching students, whenever you are teaching them, those knowledge is stored here in Wendy's area. Don't worry, in the training, in the course itself, you have access to all detailed information. I just want you to see it physically. This is the broadcast area. Now, let me quickly explain the broadcast area. The broadcast area. The broadcast area. The broadcast area mainly plays this role of speech production. It is about speech production. So the broadcast area, in conjunction with the premotor cortex, okay, speech planning and production. So this must be active. Whenever you ask students questions, they will start thinking, and the ability for your student to respond to you is because of the broadcast area and the premotor cortex. They've come online, and that's why that child is able to really respond to you. And then the next one, so we are going to be, it is called the Wernicke's area. The Wernicke's. This part of the brain. This part of the brain. It's called the Wernicke's area. I just want you to see it so that when you come across it in the training, it will not sound new. The Wernicke's area. Yes. It was discovered by, okay, let me quickly tell you this story. There are some individuals, they are known as neurologists or neuropathologists. Okay, those individuals who study the brain and try to find out what really went wrong with the brain. For example, there was a man like that. Okay, I think either in Germany or in France. The guy had an accident that affected his focus area, and the guy could not produce speech. If you ask him what is your name, the man will say Tan. He kept saying Tan, Tan, and Tan. That was only the speech that he could produce. So when the guy died, so I think John Brokers was the one who he conducted an autopsy, and he realized that this part of the brain, that the neurons there, they suffered what? What? The death of neurons is called what? Okay, apoptosis. Apoptosis. So the death, so they discovered that those neurons, they died. So that affected his ability to produce speech. So if you ask him what is your name, what did you eat yesterday? Tan tan tan, tan tan tan, tan tan tan. That's what he eats. So that is for brokers. There is a subsequent research, and because of the advancement of these neurotechnologies, those technologies that give scientists or cognitive neuroscientists and other scientists information about the brain, the development and the advancement, now they can really point that this is responsible for speech production. When a child is thinking that 2 + 2 is 4, okay, this is that this is the parietal lobe. There's the part called the intraparietal sulcus. It is that part that is mainly dedicated for mathematics and arithmetic. So what can a math teacher, what can math teachers actually do to make sure that what? The neurons in these areas, they are talking to each other and one another. What can a mathematics teacher